Separated by cosmic cabinets, Brandon Paul and just Brandon and Paul are broadcasting the Breakdown Podcast live using their telepathic powers. My name is Brandon Miracle, broadcasting from the Break Room Arcade. If you look right at me in the video version, you'll see Paul Anderson broadcasting live from the Break Room Clubhouse. This is the Breakdown Podcast, episode 30. 30 down, guys. And we're not even
Feeling old yet?
Yes. I mean, we're not even doing this weekly anymore. We're bi-weekly now, at least on this show. We have two shows. Nintendo stuff on Fridays. Little interesting. We're going to be talking mostly about Nintendo today, just because of the way things work out. So this is the Breakdown Podcast, where we talk about the movies, TV, anime, and games we experienced over the last 2 weeks. The problem is that I've only experienced video games for 2 weeks.
I've watched one anime in 2 weeks, and I think the funniest part about this is the whole reason we were going to do the 2 week thing is so that we'd have more time to fit in the anime and movies and games. And I mean, looking at our list, we definitely fit in some games, but
and that's all we did, really.
Else. It's been a good week, though. It's been a good week.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the last 2 weeks were pretty big for gaming, especially for us. Like, Spider-Man came out, and we spent a heck of a lot of time playing Spider-Man. And then if you're paying attention to our Twitter feeds and our Discord server, you would know that we were in Chicago over the weekend to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at Best Buy. That's going to be a big topic of discussion for today, so you'll hear more about that in a bit. But since it's the only anime, the only other thing that's not games, Paul, tell us what you watched.
So I've been watching Soul Eater still. I talked about this, I think, when Sean was on the show. I adore Soul Eater. The reason I started watching this again is because the second opening is like one of my favorite anime openings of all time. And I think it was Dream Drop Sora was tweeting of like the opening. And it got me really nostalgic, so I decided to sit down and start watching this again. I honestly thought I'd be done for this episode, but there's just been too many games to play.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you were talking to Michaela about like all the episodes of anime I'm behind on. I'm like, I haven't watched My Hero Academia in like 2 months, Boruto in like 2 months. I haven't finished Shokugeki no Soma. I had a reason for that, though. Like, I was saving that for the Roger crossover video. That
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I probably don't. I might remember what happened at the very end. Yeah, I do. I remember where we're at. Never mind. It took me a minute though, which is why I respect your abstinence from it.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't want to watch it. It's just, I wanted to save it for when we were going to talk about it, so it'd be fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We'll get with Roger eventually.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better, though, I also haven't watched Boruto, My Hero Academia, and, I did finish Shokugeki. There's one other, like, weekly anime that I'm forgetting about.
Steins Gate?
Yes. That's actually probably been, like, a month or two for me, but the other two have only been, like, a couple weeks now.
I mean, the nice thing the nice thing about this now is, like, when we're ready to binge, we got a lot to watch.
Yeah.
The other thing, like, kind of keeping me back, obviously, has been Kingdom Hearts, if you've been paying attention to what I've been doing. But
worth it.
But continue.
So I did finally make it. I think it took like 30 episodes to make it to the second opening. So I watched 30 episodes of Soul Eater so I could just watch the good opening every single time.
It's 30 episodes for the second opening?
Yeah.
That's weird. It's usually like 13 or 26.
I was thinking 26 because it is 52 episodes long. And
That's
so it
strange.
took over halfway to get to the second opening.
I wonder if the anime studio ran into a snag like in season 2 or something.
That could be. I think I'm like 10 episodes away from the like series finale, which is going to be very like bittersweet because it ends on like as satisfying a note as it could, given that like the manga goes on much further than like the anime does.
So it's
but
premature.
It's still like, yeah, I still know that there's like this much that I don't get because the anime just stopped.
That sucks.
It's Kenichi all over again.
And Yu Yu Hakusho. But that's coming back in like an OVA form, right?
I think so.
I keep seeing it in my Facebook feed. Like the same exact article keeps getting sponsored pushed to me.
Was Yu Yu Hakusho ended prematurely? I thought that it did follow like the manga pretty darn close to its
Oh, maybe it was that the
conclusion.
manga had a different, or like a more fleshed out ending.
It was definitely a rushed ending. They ran through like that final arc.
Ace the Gamer Dude says, Paper Moon is a great song, dudes. I'm assuming that's opening
Yes. Yep. I'll send you a link to that sometime, and then hopefully that's enough to make you want to actually watch the show.
I mean, I'll probably watch it at some point. It's definitely been on my list.
I think it's too significant of a series not to watch eventually.
Okay. Hey, that pretty much puts it in perspective for me.
Yeah, it's one of those like it's one of those animes that you'll always see on those top anime lists. And it's there for a reason. Like, it is such a unique and wonderful show.
Conman says, Soul Eater was a staple anime of my high school days. I haven't watched it since, but oof, it's aged well. Conman also says,
Definitely.
kind of surprised they never made more spin-offs from that universe or made the series longer. It had hecka, this is PG, hecka potential.
The manga went on for 3 years after the anime ended. That's so disappointing. And I've heard like really good things about the manga, so I actually think at some point I will go through and read all of that. I might also, if I hate myself enough, read all of Kenichi.
Yeah, I've wanted to read Kenichi myself, because, I mean, the fact that the show or the manga actually eventually did end, there's a little hole in my heart now knowing that I could know what happens, just haven't made the effort to do it.
Yeah.
Dream Drop in the chat saying, what's up, guys? How is everyone? I have finally recovered from all the sleep I haven't gotten for the last 4 days.
I'm still a little bit tired, but
Man, like,
I made it home in one piece. That's the important thing.
that's good. Boy, every time I wanted to go to sleep, that's when Alvin would slide in and be like, but we're gonna do this, right? And then I would end up doing this for 2 hours.
You're segueing so well right now into just Gloomhaven,
Thanks.
aren't you?
Yeah. So, the night we got back from Smash Brothers, and we'll talk more about Smash Brothers. That's going to be the main topic of today's show. I was dead tired. You were dead tired. Joe just collapsed when he got home. We were all incredibly tired. But Alvin was not. Alvin was wired. He was ready to go.
I have no idea how he did that, because he stayed up like even later the night before than we did.
2 hours of sleep the night before.
I don't know how he was still awake like that late.
Yeah, I don't know either. He was handling it, though. So, we're sitting at my game board, or my board game table in the basement, and he looks over at me, and he's like, Gloomhaven? And I looked at you. I could tell you just wanted to go to bed, but I was like, man, I really want to play Gloomhaven.
I'll be honest. I was actually just really upset with how the last game had gone that we were playing before.
So the
it's a
game that we
combination
can't
of
talk
just-
about in front of other
Yep.
people.
I was too frustrated, and I decided I'd just go to bed.
Fair enough. I mean,
And after hearing what happened following, I'm glad I went to bed when I did.
so yeah, Alvin and I ended up playing Gloomhaven, 2 players. It's up to a 4-player game. You can actually play it solo as well. But for those who don't know, it's a Dungeons and Dragons like RPG, campaign based. The box that you buy it in is over 20 pounds in terms of how heavy it is. There's just so much stuff in there. It's incredibly well detailed. You blind pick your character when you start the game, so you don't really know
I'm
what
the
you're going to get.
avatar.
the
I'm the failed avatar.
right. Paul's the failed avatar. I'm a brute. An Enox is the name of the race. The heavy hitter guys.
I'm the dude from Thor Ragnarok, the Rock Man.
What was his name? Boulder?
I wish. That sounds right.
I think it was just like some simple name like that.
He's definitely like exactly what this dude was modeled after, except he's the failed avatar.
So yeah, he and I decided to play Gloomhaven. This is only the 3rd campaign mission we've played since we got the game like months ago, just because it's so hard to schedule. You have, we wanted to get all 4 people from our main campaign party to get together to play the game every time. But he and I, we broke down. We're like, you know what? We're just going to play it 2 players. So we did that. Korg, says Ace, in terms of the rock guy. Thank you.
Thanks for having our back.
Thanks for having our backs, breaking the games. So Alvin and I ended up playing for about 3 hours. It had been so long since we had played before, we were a little rusty on how to play. But after one turn, we were like, oh yeah, and then we played the rest of the game pretty much just fine. We ended up doing a boss battle, the first boss battle we've experienced in Gloomhaven, and we didn't quite know how it worked. He has like special conditions that he can do on his turns, but we assumed he could do them every turn and not only when his cards are drawn. I could spend like 45 minutes explaining how combat works, so I'm just going to be vague. Sorry. So, like, he had this ability to just teleport to a room, open the door, and activate the monsters that would then come and try and attack us. And also, he had the ability to summon skeletons every turn as monsters. Every turn. But not every turn.
Sounds like a cool dude.
He can only do it when he draws the cards, but Alvin and I were doing it every turn until we eventually drew a card that said Special 1, and they were like, wait a minute, he shouldn't be doing this every turn. So we deleted the skeletons from the board because he hadn't pulled one yet, and undid a few things. Luckily, we'd only been a few turns deep, not too much. But then we kind of destroyed the boss and beat the mission. It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't super late. Still got a full night's sleep. And I had a blast.
And plenty of gold.
And, yes, I got 43 gold in that one quest, which is a lot if you play Gloomhaven. Yeah, so lots of money. And then the next day, we ended up playing another quest, but you joined us. You created a character.
Yep, and failed avatar.
So what was your
like Korg?
What was your thoughts like on Gloomhaven before you got to play? Because we talked a whole lot about it.
I've sat there when you guys played your first campaign and it went on for 5 hours, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. I just knew it took forever. Having actually played it now, I see like it's a long period, like it takes a while, but it's a blast the whole time. Like there's a lot of strategy involved that like you can only coordinate so much with people you're playing with, and I actually really like that. Like you start like one of your moves, and then that can completely just ruin what I was planning on doing, or it can help what I was doing, but you don't really know until you start doing it.
Yeah, so for those who are listening, you can't discuss the actions you intend to take before they happen. So like you flip for initiative, and at that point you can start discussing what's going to take place. But before then, you have no idea what your friends are going to do, and they have no idea what you're going to do. You can be vague, but you can't specifically give them damage numbers or abilities. You have to be vague when explaining your commands, and that's because, I guess, in the ideology of the game, in the heat of the moment of an actual battle, you also wouldn't be able to tell your teammates those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So it translates really well.
I mean, you also have like certain things that you just like straight up can't discuss that are more or less your character's motivation, which adds a very like creative angle to it. You just never know why someone is specifically doing what they're doing.
Yeah, so like I've had a mission or like an overall goal, my story goal, that I can't discuss with you guys. You guys don't know what I plan to do or what I have to do. But on top of that, there are also campaign mission goals. So once you're about to start a dungeon or about to start a map, you're dealt 2 goals that you can choose from that will, if you succeed in them, you'll get perks for your character or whatnot. But you can't discuss those types of things. So in our mission, my goal was to collect 13 experience or higher in order to claim a check mark. Did you tell me what yours was?
I was to open a treasure chest, and so I was really upset when Alvin did.
And you couldn't tell him not to.
Yeah, I actually didn't even realize that he was standing on top of it. They ended up on it.
Oh.
I was planning my next move to use like my boots so I could move as close to it as possible.
That sucks. Was it for 1 check mark or 2?
It was just 1.
Alvin got 2 check marks from his goal, and his goal was exactly the opposite of mine. So I think he had to be under 7 experience points, and he managed to pull it off. So
nailed it.
Yeah, and he unlocked his first perk, which is cool. He got to remove 2 -1 attack modifiers from his deck, which is really, really good. There is a lot of Smash Ultimate hype going on in this chat. We're getting there, team. We're getting there.
I mean, this is a week for hype.
Yeah.
I'm already looking forward to the next campaign I can be a part of.
I wanted to play again so bad, but I was so dead.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully this weekend.
Yeah, like, if you're down again, we're playing Gloomhaven. It's like, that's what's happening. There is a video game on the way. Don't have a lot of faith in that right now. Because as of right... Or go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they go, like, more of a Fire Emblem direction with it, I think they can adapt the game into a board game very well.
Yeah, like, it's not like a direct adaptation. I don't know what I'd want, necessarily. Do I want it to be a video game first, or do I want them to adapt the board game to make it easier to play?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Personally, I don't know what I'd prefer. But, you know, it is what it is.
If they adapt the story into an actual video game, then you might actually be able to make your way through it all.
Yeah. And they're releasing an expansion for Gloomhaven. Or they may have, it might already be out. I'm like, I don't know how we'll ever get to it. There's so much stuff in that box. But yeah, definitely.
One day at a time.
Definitely looking forward to playing more. So one other thing we should talk about is Spider-Man. Because this has come out in the last 2 weeks. And you and I have both finished it.
What a good game.
Yeah. What a really good game.
I think, like, in both of our cases, as soon as you start swinging through the city, it just clicks into place. Like, holy crap, I'm actually Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that's that's like the first action they have you do, right? Is web slinging.
Mm. Yeah, that's the first time you get to control Peter. Oh, wait. I mean, Spider-Man.
You can't reveal a secret identity, dude.
I know.
So Ace the Gamer dude pre-ordered his copy from the same GameStop as mine. And I don't know how long this has been happening simultaneously. We could have been pre-ordering from the same GameStop for like years and had no idea. But I saw him there. And then quickly I got out because the lines were packed. So I got my game and I bopped. So it was good to see you for the half second agreement.
There's an unspoken agreement that you have to just go and play Spider-Man.
Yes. Oh, we're not going to spoil Crafty. Don't worry about that. We're not about that life. Yeah, I absolutely adore Spider-Man. It might be my goatee right now.
I agree with that. There's just so much that they do to give you that sense of being Spider-Man. Like, even down to some of the, like, side missions that you can choose to do, like random burglaries and stuff that you can stop. Like, if you think about the movies and the comics, there's always, like, something else going on. There's always something pulling him away as soon as he, like, slows down.
Yeah.
And so you really get that sense of, like, there is no stopping. You're always going from one thing to the next with, like, barely a second to yourself in between.
This is his job, and that's what he's accepted, and he has to deal with all of that comes with it. Unless Smash has a story, this is GOTY for me. Like, my other contenders for GOTY right now are Monster Hunter World, God of War, and Spider-Man, all PS4 games for a Nintendo channel. That tells you a little bit about how this year has gone, but, you know, we'll save that for later.
Nintendo's saving it for the end of the year.
Yes, they are. But Smash Ultimate might as well be Game of the Year 2019. Yeah, and it's not going to qualify for Game of the Year at the Game Awards because it comes out after November.
Well, it's my game of next year then.
Perfect.
I feel bad for 2019 because there's just no competition for a Smash game.
Dream Drop, I don't know if it's necessarily beat Monster Hunter World for me yet. It's just Monster Hunter World feels like last year to me because it's been 8 months already.
Yeah.
I'll have to really sit down and evaluate it. But right now, Spider-Man is way up there.
Spider-Man's good. It's good.
Yeah, play it if you haven't, because it's fantastic. Like Logan, he platinumed the game today, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like 3 trophies away, and you're pretty close.
I'm 2.
So yeah,
I have like, you get tokens for doing random like challenges or like side quests and whatnot that you can use to get more suits. And I use most of them on other upgrades. And so like the last thing I have to do is like get all the different suits. And so I'm probably stuck waiting for more like specifically challenges in order to get those last handful of suits. So I kind of just gave up on platinuming it for like the meantime.
mm-hmm.
But it's crazy because even down to just like the side quests and whatnot, like I couldn't stop playing all the side quests.
Yeah, that was me
Every time there were more like presented to me, I just had to do it.
That was me for the first night. I could not do anything but side quests. I got every tower, every backpack. I beat all the thugs because that's the first set of stuff that they give you, and I did all of it before I moved on because I was just having that much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like playing games like Assassin's Creed, which does pretty much the same thing in terms of how it delivers side quests to you.
Mm-hmm.
I could never like do that with those games, but this one, the gameplay is so good, it's so much fun that I had a blast doing menial tasks like capturing pigeons.
Well, I think it's really in just like the movement of the game because it just feels so good to swing from building to building.
Yes.
Like it was hard not to take the opportunity to go from like the bottom of the map to the top of the map and then back.
And like with the web swinging, like it's all contextual. Like where your web sticks is contextual to an actual building, and the way Peter swings, Spider-Man, the way Spider-Man swings is also contextual to the building. Like they made sure that happened because I don't think it was like that in Spider-Man 2. I think they just stuck to stuff and you didn't really see what they were stuck to.
Yeah. My understanding was that's kind of how it worked.
Sorry, my wife just showed up with water and it's actually scared me half to death.
But like my first thought when playing through this game is, man, I'm not even done with this, but I need a sequel already.
DLC next month, first episode.
I want to see this kind of treatment get applied to like other games because the combat itself isn't too different from the Arkham games.
It is, I would venture to say it is just exactly Arkham.
Yeah. But in a very similar way, like Arkham really captured the experience of being Batman. And this also really captures the experience of being Spider-Man. And so I just want to see them continue with that trend.
Yeah.
Because I just enjoy this.
I don't think this is the last time we're seeing Spidey. And it might also not be the only Marvel heroes we see. I would not be surprised.
I'd be okay with that.
But enough about Spider-Man. We're going to move on. I've got a lot of Kingdom Hearts to talk about, so I'm just going to talk about it all at once. Actually, Paul, let's have you talk about your Kingdom Hearts first, since you started with the first game.
Okay, so I realized with all your marathoning of Kingdom Hearts that I haven't played them in years, and I don't remember what's going on. So I decided that it's time for a refresher course. So I started with Kingdom Hearts, and I've worked my way from the beginning to the final boss. And I'm struggling with like the third section of it, and so I'm hopefully going to beat that tonight and move on to Chain of Memories.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to talk about the first game because it's not my favorite. I might just not like it.
I think that's fair. Critics didn't like it either.
For the most part, like once you get past like the first 4 or 5 hours, I didn't have as difficult of a time. But the introduction to the game is just incredibly rough to me. Especially getting off the island. Like I started playing this several months ago and I never made it off the initial island.
Oh, the section on the Destiny Islands is one of the worst openings to a video game I've ever played. It is
like, hey,
bad.
Go find stuff. And then the next day, go find more stuff. And so I just turned the game off and didn't play anymore.
Like, yeah, like the opening to Twilight Princess is rough. but like at least you know where you're going and what you're doing. Destiny Islands,
Hmm.
there's no map, there's hardly any direction. If you're new to the game, you're gonna be there for a while, unless you look it
I
up.
actually didn't even remember that there wasn't a map. Why isn't there a map?
Who knows?
I'm so upset that this game doesn't have a map. Like there were 2 or 3 times that like I was just basically running around, had no idea where I was going, and I just kept walking from area to area until eventually a cutscene happened.
The worst thing for me is that happens again in Traverse Town.
Hmm.
Figuring out Traverse Town for me the first time was a nightmare. I could not figure out where I was going. The game didn't really give me any direction, and that's the point of Traverse Town, but it was
Yeah.
not enjoyable.
I've like played like Traverse Town is basically in every game, and I
It's in a lot of them.
still couldn't find my way through it.
Crafty says I was in Destiny Islands for 4 hours on my first playthrough. That's
That's not
awful.
okay.
That's not
That's
okay.
when you know you didn't design it well.
Yeah. And as much as we're ragging on it, that's not to say Paul and I don't love the rest of the series.
Oh no, everything after that's great. My problem is that the first like I bought 1 and 2 used, and I decided to check and make sure the discs worked. So I popped 2 in first because then I can go and just play through 1 after that. And so the first thing you notice is the camera is a second stick, and then you go back Kingdom Hearts 1, and it's the freaking bumpers. Why is it the bumpers?
Did Kingdom Hearts release pre-DualShock 1?
I don't think so.
Or wait, no, it wouldn't have because it's a PS2 game. It would have been on DualShock 2. That doesn't make any sense.
I am so like befuddled by some of their design decisions. Like, who thought that most of it was a good idea?
Luckily, it all improves.
Thankfully, I'm at the end of Kingdom Hearts, and then I can go on to play a good Kingdom Hearts game.
And you're going to get to play Josiah's favorite and probably the most divisive of all of them amongst the fan base.
I'm gonna play the only one that up to Birth by Sleep I haven't played, but I've owned twice.
Well, at least it's your chance, right?
Yep, the time is nigh.
So you played Kingdom Hearts 1. Last time I talked on the show, I was in the middle of Kingdom Hearts 2. I beat Kingdom Hearts 2, and what happens after that? What do you do after Kingdom Hearts 2? Because there's a lot. Is
mean,
Birth
like,
by
which
Sleep
game?
right afterwards?
I think Birth by Sleep is the follow-up, yeah.
I absolutely loved Birth by Sleep. Like,
It's a good game.
I love Chain of Memories. I love Kingdom Hearts 2, but Birth by Sleep, that game really did stuff to me. And it's weird. Like, you only spend, like, 7 hours with each character. Except for Aqua. You spend a little bit longer with Aqua, but still, like,
Yay.
you experience the same story through 3 different lenses. These characters have their own plots, their own things that they're dealing with, and the way that they present the information is really cool. Like, you know, characters will show up at certain points during another character's adventure, and they will say stuff that you have no context for, and then eventually you get to go back and see what actually happened to them, and then understand the weight of some of these things. And I really liked that. I thought it was great. Baconator is here from my comments on one of Chadtronic's Cheftronic videos. Was that the Chuck E. Cheese one? Hey.
Please tell me what your comment was.
So he made the Chuck E. Cheese pizza using the Chuck E. Cheese at-home factory oven.
And you had a seizure. PTSD just triggered.
I made a comment saying, as a former game room technician, I can confirm this is how we actually made the pizza. I was joking, by the way. I did work at Chuck E. Cheese's, but we had a bigger version of that plastic toy in the kitchen.
I'm surprised they didn't turn that into an arcade game, to be honest.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, thanks for joining. I was talking about Birth by Sleep, right?
I bought a PSP for that game, and I don't regret it. I had like 2 or 3 other games I want to play on the PSP too, but it was mostly just to play Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, I can totally see why you gave that game so much praise after you played it. It is really good. The combat changes a whole lot from the previous entries in the series. Like, you don't have a magic meter anymore. Everything is based on specials, or commands, they call them in the game, and you can meld commands together to make newer, better commands. But when you use them, they actually just have a cooldown timer. And then once the cooldown timer fills back up, you can use them again. And that's actually a complaint I had with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, because I felt the magic meter was so restrictive, I couldn't use my abilities as freely as I would have wanted to. Like, I don't see them as much because the opportunity isn't there. You spend so much time just using Cure, because why wouldn't you use Cure, that you don't really see any of the other stuff. So I really appreciated that. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 has the thing where your magic meter will automatically refresh after it runs out. Was that in Kingdom Hearts 1? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. I honestly, like, some of the things you're mentioning now, just gone. It's been so long since I've played, like, even Birth by Sleep, and that was the most recent game that I've played.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, combat's completely different in that game. Combat has been different, like, 4 times.
I'm okay with that.
But yeah, love Birth by Sleep. The plot I really enjoyed. So yeah, still really enjoying my experience through it. I then went and watched Kingdom Hearts Recoded, which was originally a mobile phone game, was then remade for Nintendo DS and renamed Recoded. But they put it in here as a cutscene movie, and it's about 2.5 hours long, if I remember right.
I thought you said it was 3 hours.
It's
3.5.
It was between 2.5 and 3 hours.
Well, you're changing the story now, and I don't know if I don't know what to believe anymore, man.
It was long. And for the first 2 hours, nothing happens. Like, all of the important story is, like, in that last act. The last act I enjoyed, but everything leading up to that felt kind of inconsequential. Missing out on Recoded's gameplay. I don't even really know how that game plays. I haven't ever watched any videos of it.
Carefully. Join our Discord. What?
Links in the description. But yeah, I thought it was cool. They address a few things for the story in the game, but overall it's pretty inconsequential compared to everything else. There is a secret cutscene at the end, as there are with all the Kingdom Hearts games, that I thought was kind of neat, and it leads directly into Dream Drop Distance, which is what I'm currently playing. I am 2 worlds deep into Dream Drop Distance, and they just drop you into that story with, like, no context. You start to figure out what's going on as you play the game, which I think is a neat approach. Having played Recoded and seen the ending, I knew what was happening. Or I made an educated guess as to what was happening, and I turned out to be right. But I really like the presentation of that game. You switch back and forth between Sora and Riku on a time limit.
That sounds nice.
You drop,
actually.
and you switch to the other character. It is nice.
Is it dreamy?
Yes. I do have one complaint, though. Like, when you drop, if you drop in the middle of a boss battle, you just have to do the boss battle over again. So, like, they don't negate the timer when you're in situations like that. That can be kind of annoying.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Other than that, I do like the drop system, and depending on what you do while you're Sora or you're Riku, you can gain bonuses that you can apply to the other character for your next dream session. So it's a dream, and then you drop, and then the other person dreams.
But then you drop the distance.
There's distance between them, I assume, is what that part's for. They just wanted to make a cool name because it was 3D.
That was a creative use of titling, though. I give them that.
Yeah, I thought it was a neat name, too.
I need to play that game. I need to play all of them.
Dream Drop Distance's combat is like Birth by Sleep using the command system, but it uses a couple new things like flow motion. And if you play the demo, you'll know that I say that as if it just happened, but that was like 7 years ago. If you played it on 3DS, you would know that flow motion is a better way of getting around. Like, they sped up just actual walking in the game. You move a lot faster, but you can, like, grab onto lampposts, spin around them, and then slingshot yourself somewhere else, fly, really fast. You can use it in your attacks. It just makes movement really quick. A little janky, but it was a 3DS game, so I'm kind of over that as of right now.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it. But I like it. It's a nice change. You can, like, wall jump. You can dash into a wall, bounce off of it, dash into it again, bounce off of it, kind of like Mega Man X. And I kind of dig that. So there's a lot more verticality in the levels now, and the worlds feel more fleshed out. That's a problem I've always had with Kingdom Hearts, is that the worlds don't really feel all that worldy to me. There are a few screens that don't have a lot going on. I imagine Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to change that, but, you know.
These are where your random encounters are.
Pretty much. But Dream Drop Distance, it really is a step up. And for being a handheld game, it's really impressive.
I mean, it was definitely an opportunity to start like playing around with some concepts. I feel like that was kind of the strength to some of the handheld games, is like, hey, this is something to try out. You know, some fans are going to just straight up ignore this because it doesn't have Kingdom Hearts 3 on it. So let's try some stuff, figure out where we're going.
And a lot of the stuff that they've done over the years with all the different games, or, you know, like you said, they're making their way into Kingdom Hearts 3, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Also on 2.8 is Birth by Sleep 0.2. And you get to play as Aqua in that. And essentially, as far as I know, that's just running on Kingdom Hearts 3. So you get to, like, preview the game with a little bit more story. So I'm very excited to play that, even though I know it's very short.
I dig that.
Still working my way through Dream Drop.
One of these days I'm going to work my way to 2.8, and then I'll actually get 2.8.
You got, what,
those are
4 months before launch?
I think I can swing it if I just believe and do nothing else like you did.
I mean, Dream Drop Distance, I looked up, was only like 20 hours long, which is not bad by any means. But yeah, like, that's all that Kingdom Hearts. There was a whole lot. Sorry.
I mean, you have 2 weeks of Kingdom Hearts to talk about, so...
Yeah. But now we have a whole weekend of Smash to talk about. Hey, we're talking about the namesake of the video now. Unless you got something.
How about that Smash for Wii U?
Oh, yeah. So, like, we did that the night before going, right?
Yeah. I think we also did it after we got back a little bit, too, but...
Yeah. So we played Smash 4 in preparation of getting to play Smash Ultimate at Best Buy in Chicago. And we had a really good time.
Oh, yeah. I was practicing the 2 characters that I decided I would try out in Smash Ultimate just so I could, like, compare their feel. And so also to get off some of the rust. So I was playing a lot as Ryu and Little Mac. And then just because he's my actual main, I would also throw in the occasional Captain Falcon. And I had some very impressive Falcon moves.
Yeah, you did. Detail some of that.
There was one... team battle. It was me and Brandon versus our buddies Devin and Alvin, and coming into the very end, I like where you're going with this.
It's a green cup.
I think it was Alvin was left. You grab Alvin. I think you were playing as probably Ike.
Probably, like I usually do.
And so, reading your mind, I jump into the air and I do a spinning Falcon punch into him for a game.
Always the best way to end a match with a Falcon punch.
In sync moments.
It's one of those.
One other nice Captain Falcon punch and finishers on you. I was on fire.
It's always like, you know, when you're about to pull off something cool in Smash, or even in any game, like, you know it's going to happen as soon as you press the button. You know when you've done it before it happens.
Yeah. This is one where, like, with Smash Ultimate, how they have that, like, slow-mo for
dramatic zoom.
Dramatic finishers. Like, I wish we had that here. Because there were just 2 perfect occasions for it. I might be okay as Captain Falcon.
Yeah, and I was kind of just jumping all over the roster, but I made sure to get a few games as Mario and Ike in to get prepared for Ultimate. And, I mean, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
There were a lot of games played, a lot of stocks gained.
It's a reminder of why we love Smash Brothers in the first place. It's just a game you can sit down, pass the controllers around, and just have fun.
We were going to leave, or we did leave, around 5:30 in the morning to go play Smash Ultimate on Saturday. because we had to go all the way to Chicago, and we wanted to make sure we were in line early enough to get to play Smash without standing in line for a million years. Funnily enough, you stand in line for a million years in order to not stand in line a million years later. But still, we were going to go to bed, and then Alvin and Devin showed up late, right when we were going to go to sleep. And they were
we just got done playing Smash Brothers 1v1.
Yeah, we did. And then Alvin wanted to play Smash, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna play one match. An hour and a half later, I got off and went to sleep. We were gonna get like a full 8 hours of sleep. That didn't happen.
That was the goal. But it was okay because we played Smash.
Yeah, and we had a good
That's the
time.
Important thing. We have at least one replay saved from that.
Yeah.
And you should definitely post that on our channel sometime.
Yeah, I could probably go record it. Or if I can send it to you and you can record at 60 FPS.
Either or, because I really just, I want to see it again. It's not that often that I do something that's genuinely impressive. So I have to like bask in it when it happens. And that was this is definitely a bask-worthy moment for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that brings us to Saturday. We got to Best Buy in Chicago at, like 7 o'clock in the morning?
7 o'clock.
It's funny, because Conman RDW, go subscribe to his channel, in the chat, he got theirs too. Like, we were all planning to get there at the same time, or roughly around the same time, and he got there at 6, because he, like, overestimated traffic, and we did the same thing. We ended up getting there, like, half an hour to an hour earlier than we wanted to be.
Who would have thought that on a Saturday when no one works and has to commute into Chicago that the roads would have been like as pleasant?
Who'd have thunk? But there we were. We got there at 7. We were from the door. We were at the end of the block on the corner, which was an interesting place to be. It was nice.
Next to the spider tree.
Next to a tree with like 6 or 7 different large spiders hanging out in it. Good lord. We made sure not to get too close. But we met up with Dream Drop Sora in the chat and Comment RDW. You'll see them in some of the videos we're going to upload here in the next couple days. They got some shirts. We brought them some shirts as gifts because we liked them a lot. And then we did go out to eat with them later in the day. We just had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You two are cool, by the way, if you didn't know that.
We got to do this again.
Yeah, this is not the last time. But also, around the 2-hour mark at 9, that's kind of when the Nintendo staff started setting up outside. Because they had like a desk and a tent next to the door where you could get your poster. Actually, I'll show it to you.
That's also when like most people started showing up. So it was actually worth it to get there about when we did because we really didn't have to wait in line that long.
The staff members there were saying that our line was bigger than New York City's.
I feel like that's something that they'll say everywhere they go to make it seem like, oh yeah, this place's fans are the best.
I mean, they were running around with a little counter thingy, and from what I could tell, it was the same staff from the New York event. I think they're actually just traveling around. But if you brought your phone and your Nintendo account and you used your check-in, your little QR code check-in, you got one of these. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate poster with a really shiny logo, Battlefield. I really like this because I thought the poster was just going to be the box art. So this is really unique, and I kind of dig it.
I really like the design for Battlefield, so I'm all for it.
Get a little My Nintendo icon to prove that that's how you got it. So, like, they've had that check-in button on the Nintendo accounts for a long time, and it was always under the assumption that you would get some cool goodies when you checked in at Nintendo events. And this is the first time I've ever used it for something.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know there was a QR code until you mentioned it on the drive there. It didn't take me too long to find it either.
Well, I think the plan mostly was to use that for Nintendo movies, because they mentioned movie theaters, as well as Super Nintendo World.
Gotcha. That makes sense too.
So it's cool that they're going to use them for like little side events like this.
Well, it's also just cool that you got something by actually being a member of their like rewards program. It makes it feel a little bit more worthwhile to be signed up for it.
Yeah.
Granted, it is worthwhile to begin with, but it was just that like little cherry on top. Like, oh hey, you're part of us. Have a poster. Thank you, Nintendo.
So not only that, but like while we were in line, after they started giving out posters, some of the staff members started coming down. Dream Drop, they're not opening theaters. I'm under the assumption that it will be for Nintendo movies, like the Super Mario Brothers movie coming out and Detective Pikachu next year. But yeah, they started coming down the line and giving out wristbands, different colored wristbands. The wristbands you got gave you access to an exhibition match line that you could get in after playing your free-for-alls in the free-for-all line, or before, whichever order you ended up doing it in. So in the free-for-all line, you got to play 2 matches, 2.5-minute matches. You, me, Michaela, and Josiah all ended up together on one game, which was great.
Yep.
So we got to play 2 matches back to back. I only won one of the 2 matches.
That first match was rough. We were on what's the Zelda stage's name?
The Great Plateau Tower.
I should know this by now. I'm terrible with names. But we were on Great Plateau Tower. I'm Ryu. In between 2 Inklings. There's a roof above me. There was nowhere to go. I got wrecked. That's my first impression of Smash Ultimate.
When I got to that machine, I was at a crossroads. There were a lot of characters I love playing as, and in my mind, my first character had to be a character I was used to, just so I could figure out my feel for the game first before trying somebody new. And then I saw Snake on that character select screen. And I said, you know what? I gotta go with my boy. So I picked Snake. The night before, like, I had almost said to you twice, where's Snake on the character select screen for Smash for Wii U?
I knew you were thirsty for that Snake.
So
I'm glad you did finally get to play him.
Completely in earnest. So yeah, finally got to play Snake. Like you said, it was the first match, so there was a lot to figure out before you could really, get your feel for it. But, I was playing as Snake, using all the moves I remember. His, what is it? His side B is that, like, remote control missile that you could, like, steer in Brawl. And I think the steering controls for it are different now because I kept, like, shooting it into the ground. I remember it being, like, steering left and right as if you were the head of the missile. But I could just be misremembering. So it took me a while to get used to that. I did manage to plant C4 on one of you. I don't know who it was, but I blew you up afterwards. It was one of the Inklings. So it was either Michaela or Josiah.
So it wasn't me. Cool.
Wasn't you. But I started planting... What's that?
I was going to say, you probably gave me just a little break from just getting Inkling wrecked.
Yeah, it was so much fun just to get my hands on a character I haven't gotten to play in a long time. Baconator says, when I played a Snake, I was just there for the box.
It's a nice box. Let's be honest.
I didn't taunt.
You monster.
I'm upset.
You let everyone here down.
Myself included. So yeah, the first match, like you said, Paul, was a little rough because everyone was kind of getting their bearings. We were playing on a brand new stage. And then in the second match, we played on Frigate Orpheon, which is a stage from Brawl that got cut in Smash 4. One of my favorite stages from Brawl, actually, so I was glad to get the chance to play on it. It's the one that takes place during the battle with the Parasite Queen in Metroid Prime, and the stage kind of flips over. So it was nice to be on a stage that was familiar. And in that match, I played as Mario in his wedding outfit. Not intentionally, because somebody hit start before I could pick my color.
You know you wanted it. Don't even lie.
I wanted Builder Mario, not Wedding Mario.
No, you didn't. You looked dapper, okay?
Thanks for telling me I look dapper.
Whoever press start for you.
I can dress myself in the morning on my own. Thank you, Paul.
Fight me in Smash.
I just wanted Builder Mario. And I did terrible in that match. Just gonna be honest. Like, I did not do very well.
It's all because of the costume. I feel you.
No, it's because Josiah was playing as Ganondorf. and he Ganon-sided me twice. 2 times.
In his defense, he made no illusions that he was going to play not dirty. He was going to play clean. That's the word. You knew exactly what you're getting in for.
I knew what I was getting in for, but man, I was
You should
so...
have stayed away from him.
The first
You
time,
should have stayed away from
I
him.
thought it was hysterical. The second time, I was legitimately upset. You get me once, but you get me twice.
But it's okay, because I played as Little Mac, and I came in second.
We got to talk
Because
about
I
how that
choked.
match ended, though.
We went to sudden death. It was me versus Brand's wife, Michaela, and I choked. I got umbrellaed.
My wife won a match as villager using the umbrella in a sudden death, and I was very proud.
You should be.
She was so happy, too, that she actually won a match, because I don't think she thought she was going to win anything. She's not bad at Smash, but she just kind of started figuring out how to play Smash well towards the end of, like, Smash 4's life, like, within the last year or two. So, and she didn't get to play her main, which is Yoshi, because Yoshi wasn't in the demo. And you suffered a similar fate.
We have the same John.
Yeah. As to where both of my mains were in the demo, so I was fine.
You monster.
3 of my mains, if you count Snake.
It's okay, because my new secondary main is there now. Was there. I'm a Little Mac now. It's been decided.
Are you not going to claim Ryu? I think you still have a good Ryu.
It'll take me a little bit longer to figure out, but I definitely know that I'm okay as Little Mac now. Which is funny because, like, I got the same start with Little Mac that I did with Captain Falcon. I'm not good with this character, and so I'm going to play this as a throwaway. I'm going to play as this character out of spite, and I'm going to just self-destruct like crazy. And then slowly but surely, by doing that, I got good.
Yeah, Mac was just, like, eating the stage. Like, you couldn't get in his way without him crushing you. Like with that dash attack, too.
I love his dash attack. It's so good.
Is it just me, or does impact on attacks, even, like, baby attacks, like little neutral jabs, they feel, like, really powerful?
It feels good. It feels good.
So after we played our free-for-alls, like I said, you got to play 2. Then we waited around for a bit.
We were told to not stand in the aisles.
First, we were told to leave and then come back. But then, when we showed our wristbands, they're like, oh, I guess just stay around for a bit. At 11 o'clock, we got to get in line again for our exhibition matches. And here's how the exhibition matches work. You get to play in a free-for-all. A practice game first, and then a second match is the real deal. If you win that free-for-all, you go into a 1v1 against the person who won the free-for-all on the other side of the setup. And then, whoever wins that game, another practice match, and then a full match, wins one of these. Spoiler
So
alert.
Bran lost. Bran lost. He's terrible at Smash. He's not good.
Spoiler alert. I won a
Bran's
hat.
not good at Smash. No, you didn't. You stole it. I see through you.
You were the one telling me that I was going to win the hat.
I did. I didn't want to. Well, actually, I knew it was going to happen. I wanted my John built in. You know, I already admitted that I was going to lose, and then I did. So it was fine.
You didn't do bad, though.
In the practice round, I did terrible. I played as Marth. I came in 4th. So then I decided if I'm going to give it my all, I need to play as Little Mac. And then I got 2nd.
Which is very good. We were one of the guys we were fighting was playing as Pokemon Trainer, which was cool because, you know, Pokemon Trainer's been gone for a while. The other player in the first match used, what, Ridley? I think? Do you remember what they played in the second game? Or I think they switched to Marth afterwards. Yeah, they did. First of all, the first match, it was me as Ike, you as Marth, and then Pokemon Trainer and Ridley. And then it turned into me as Ike, you as Little Mac, him as Marth, and then Pokemon Trainer. So in the first round, There was one kill where I dirtied both of them. All three of us were off stage except for you. And I upbeat with Ike backwards, facing away from the stage, you know. And I went up. They ate the sword, and I came back down and downed both of them and got 2 KOs for the price of 1 SD.
Worth it.
That was the moment I knew I won the match. I was like, that was the lead I needed to win the game. I don't know how I won the second one. I wasn't keeping track at that time.
Carefully.
But it was good. It was kind of funny because you and I were both up in our Break Room Arcade t-shirts, and the two of them were up in the same shirt of their own. It was some blue shirt with a logo I hadn't recognized. So they were from the same group, and we were from the same group. And in the second match, the one that counts, we both beat them.
Yeah.
No collusion.
When it comes time to get serious, we bring the heat. We bring the back breaking.
Close enough. So that brought me to the winner's side, and I got to face off against the other guy in a 1v1. And again, I picked Ike. In the first match, he picked Pikachu. I won that match, and then in the second match, he picked Cloud. And Cloud suffered a pretty big nerf in Smash Ultimate so far. And I won that match too. Here's the thing, though. Like, he asked me if we could play competitive rules for stage selection. And we both agreed to play on Battlefield for the first round because it's a neutral pick. It's a starter. And then in the second match, he thought the first match counted, by the way. And when he found out it didn't, he was like, okay, loser picks the next game. And I looked at him and I was like, all right. So now we're playing competitive rules when it starts counting, even when it didn't in the match before. And I was like, okay, I see his game. He also picked his character after I did, deliberately waiting. And I was like, all right, man. But it was okay. It was all in good fun, at least for me. He picked Green Greens, which was an interesting choice. Green Greens is not a legal stage, so I don't know why he decided to pick that one or what was going on. I like Green Greens as a stage, so I didn't have anything wrong. I mean, everybody wanted the hat, let's be real.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, if he was just, you know, hoping to get me on a stage on Green Greens or what, but I ended up winning even harder in that particular fight.
You ended his break time. That's the one.
Yeah, he was just a little bit salty after the fact, and you know, I would have been too. Like, let's be real. Like, if you had made it to the finals and you lost out on a hat, it would have been upsetting. But ultimately, I did win the hat, and I think someone yelled that they would pay $100 for my hat off of me after I got it. I was too like trembly and oh my god, I just won a match to pay attention to anything else happening around me.
Yeah, you were pretty psyched.
So yeah, it was really fun. Shout out to the guy I played against. It was really fun fighting you. We got an interview with you that will be probably in one of the videos. It was funny because he was behind us in line the whole time, like actually outside. So
I was actually surprised when he came around and he was your opponent.
Yeah, so was I. I was like, oh, hello. Because he and Devin actually...
We know you.
He and Devin actually initially decided that they wanted to go against each other. That didn't happen. But what did happen was that after, you know, our set was over, it was Alvin, Devin, and Josiah's, you know, set of matches. Alvin ended up in a different bracket than... Excuse me, dinner's coming up. Jesus. Josiah and Alvin ended up in a different bracket than Devin. Devin won his side, and then when we were waiting for the match to start, Alvin ended up coming around the side of the TV, or the side of the setup, and we were like, oh, hello.
That's how that's when I knew, like, this is gonna be a good match.
Yeah. And it was. They had the, to think, yes, Chuck E. Cheese brought you here.
Chuck E. Cheese brings people places. It brought Brandon here.
So, me and Alvin are yes, it did. I love, Paul, how you laughed at your own joke.
It wasn't that I was laughing at my joke. It was that your reaction was like, screw this dude. You're just gonna ignore it.
Well, I didn't even realize what you'd said at first. I had to think about it. So Alvin plays Ike as well, because he and I used to play co-op back in Brawl. I would say pro, but we played local. So he picked Ike, and Devin picked Sheik, because Sheik is one of his mains. And I think Alvin ended up winning both fights, right?
I believe so.
The second fight was pretty severe. It was a 4-0 for Alvin. Him and that Knuckles, man. That Knuckles assist trophy.
If I was... Devin's going to have PTSD every time Knuckles is the assist trophy. And I don't blame him, because Knuckles just did work as soon as he came out.
Devin got killed by Knuckles. He got killed by the Dragoon. He got killed by Jeff's assist trophy. And then what was the other death? It was some other item that killed him. And Alvin ended up winning the match with no deaths, like 126% damage. It was a pretty severe beat. But it was really fun to watch. That video is going up on the channel tomorrow. You can watch that match. So that was a lot of fun. I really like the way Smash Ultimate feels.
Yeah.
Like instantly, I was like, yeah, this is going to be the Smash I play forever.
I mean, I'll put it like this, like, the demo is not how I'm used to playing. And also, like, Pro Controller was not my controller of choice. But I picked it up, and it was like I had been playing it my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, that game is smooth.
And Josiah mentioned something earlier that we didn't bring up, but I don't know if you noticed, but the HD rumble in Smash is really pronounced and feels really cool.
I actually didn't notice.
Well, it's one of those things, like, if you're not thinking about it, you're probably not going to notice it, because it's there to make it feel good. But yeah, he was like, I think I'm just going to switch to Pro Controller, which I respect. I'm not. I'm probably just going to stick with the GameCube controller.
Yeah.
I didn't mind playing it on Pro Controller as much as a lot of other people did.
I mean, I was able to adjust. Like, the one weird thing was, like, I think left bump was how you grabbed, and, like, right bump was just shielding for me. I don't know if...
I wasn't able to throw items with right bumper. But it was a shield button. Or I guess I assumed it was grab, and that's why I couldn't throw items.
Yeah, I was pressing it to grab, and then it wasn't grabbing, it was just shielding. And I'm like, oh.
Grab's on the other side. That was the default control setup for 3DS. So I guess they decided to keep it for whatever reason. Baconator says, maybe I'll see one of you all online. Probably be spending a lot of time online. We plan on having community tournaments on the channel that we live stream.
If there's a tournament mode. If there isn't, I think we still need to, like, coordinate one, but...
Yeah, I mean, we'll still coordinate one. It's just we're hoping that there's just built-in community tournaments like Smash 4. Hopefully with more options than they had in Smash 4. You couldn't just have a stock tournament in Smash 4, and that was always aggravating.
I like me some options.
Hey, everyone in the chat's like, I hated the control layout. Yeah, they didn't let us customize, but they had to keep the line moving. That's one thing I actually want to spend some time talking about. The actual event itself.
Smooth.
They did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
We got in. We played Smash within, like, half an hour of the line officially being open. And then, like, an hour later, we were doing our competitive exhibition matches. And I got to play Smash for 6 matches.
I got 4.
Yeah, that's a lot more Smash than I expected. I was literally thinking we were going to play one game, and that was it.
I mean, we gotta give it out, though. Like, we know why it was so smooth. Our dude at the front of both the lines guiding people. Fun fact, if you were there, that guy at the front of, like, the exhibition free-for-all line that, like, would point you to a setup, he was at the Chicago Switch preview tour, which we were at, and he also gave Brandon the opportunity to come up on stage. So if you watch the Bomberman tournament video from that trip, you'll see that guy featured there.
Yeah. He brought me up on stage to play Bomberman.
And you also won a hat.
I did. I won a hat there, too. I'm 2 for 2 on hats.
He's proud of you. He's not here to say it, but I know deep down, like, that dude's proud of you.
Thanks for all the hats, man. I love them.
You're the MVP of the Break Room Arcade.
They gave out some other merch too, like just for going to play. If you played at all, you got these buttons.
The nice pins.
Yeah, they gave you 2. And what's cool is if you went in line again for exhibition, you got another set. So I ended up with 4 of these, and I gave well, not 4 packs of these, but 4 buttons, and I gave the other pair to Dylan, who wasn't able to go with us.
Rip.
He was happy though that he got the buttons and the posters. Because my wife and I both got a set of posters because we both have accounts, so we gave him the other pair. Good lord, where are we at? It was so smart of Nintendo to do a collaboration with Best Buy. I saw a lot of Smash players buying things from the store, myself included. I bought a portable charger, and well, they got my business. Yeah, Devin in our group also bought stuff. He bought a pair of headphones to wear during his competitive matches so that he could focus.
He also didn't...
Oh, he bought a modem.
I was going to say, I could have sworn he was actually going to pre-order Smash there too, so he could get the coin.
Yeah.
Or the pre-order bonus. There were a couple of other people that mentioned they wanted to pre-order it there specifically for that coin.
Yeah, you get a coin here, not actual size.
Wow.
Looks pretty cool, though. My wife also said that she wanted to pre-order from Best Buy. Even though I already got my pre-order at GameStop, she wants the game herself. So now she's planning to pre-order at Best Buy just so we can get the coin, too.
That's also, like, a nice testament to how great Smash is. Like, your wife played the Ultimate demo and then decided she wanted her own copy on top of that.
Yeah, like, we live in the same house, but we have 2 Switches, and that was enough for her to say, yep, I'm getting my own copy of the game. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I decided I want to buy a digital copy. Just because personally, I really like having just the game on the system at all times. So I never have to worry, like, I'm always going to go back to playing Smash. So I never have to worry about, like, pulling the Smash cartridge out of my system. Smash is just always there. No matter what else I'm playing at the time, I can just close it and then play Smash like I should be doing.
No, I feel that, and I respect that too. Like, you know, for big first-party games like this, I always like to get a physical copy, because in the future, the Nintendo games always sell for a high price, always. Like, they never lose their value. It seems like, unless your code name's Steam and I buy you for $1.99 at GameStop.
Steal.
But like GameCube games and even Wii U games now are worth a pretty penny. So hang on to that stuff if you need money in the future or if you're a collector. What happened?
Just the chat comment. I'm so happy I'll have my own copy so you can actually catch these hands.
I'll no longer be trash. Yes, you're gonna take them down.
We believe in you.
I'm sad we didn't get to play against one another. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Same with Dream Drop. Oh, Dream Drop, we recorded your match, your final matches, by the way. So those will probably end up in a video somewhere.
Maybe one day we can just meet up and actually play Smash.
Yeah.
Once the game comes out.
We'll also be playing online, but you know. Nintendo Switch Online launches tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, hey, look at the time.
How about that?
It slipped my mind that it was tomorrow. I didn't know. But look, it's tomorrow. Still don't have faith in it.
So, Paul, what was your feeling going in before playing Smash, and how do you feel now?
I was tired going in, and now I'm awake. But no, I'm woke. Because honestly, I just want to play more of it. I'd actually look forward to the actual game more now than I did before. And I didn't think it was possible because I just really want that game. But there's so many things that I wanted to try and I just didn't have time to try. And so I'm excited that, you know, in a few short months, I'll get the opportunity to just play however I want to. And not in a Best Buy.
I feel that. I mean, it was fun just to be there with a bunch of community members and all get to be excited about Smash together. We saw some cosplayers, like there was a Waluigi that was really good that people cheered for every time he appeared. And there was also a Ness cosplay that I thought was pretty good.
Ness was great.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, man, wherever you are.
And Waluigi. When people started clapping, oh man, it killed me inside. They're all there because they want poor Waluigi in Smash.
There's also a guy who walked around with a sign that said that Smash is like 1,000,000% not a port. He's my hero.
Yep. So yeah, we got more videos on the way. If you saw, I uploaded on Twitter. Actually, it was the guy I fought in my finals match is the one that's in the video. Oh, why is that under the logo? We just got an alert. Thank you, someone, Frausto. Oh, I lost the alert. Dang it, I had just put it over. If I hadn't had my glasses off, I would have been there in time to see it.
I believed in you, man. You let me down.
It's my fault. I accept defeat. Naeem? I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for subscribing. So yeah, we got some matches coming out. They'll be coming out over the course of the week. We'll do a big highlight video as well as... well, it'll probably all be one big video for the highlight stuff. We got some interviews with some people. We saw Conmen, and then just the guy I fought in the finals, and even some interviews with us. Just to talk about how we felt about Smash, because I got a lot to talk about when it comes to Smash. I need more Smash. Conmen in the chat saying, we need a test Smash. Or he says, like a test Smash or kiosk demo? Test Smash.
Test Smash.
I do think there will be a test Smash. Though I don't think we'll get the test Smash until after all the characters have been revealed, or if they're prepared for that to not be, like, data mined to death, you know?
Yeah.
They're gonna...
I definitely imagine this is going to be pretty close to the actual release.
Yeah. And it would be cool, like, with the release of Nintendo Switch Online, if they announce a test Smash that you can only play if you're subscribed to the service. There's an incentive, you know?
Well, I don't know how you're going to play without the Switch Online.
I mean, you can play some stuff without Switch Online.
But I mean, if it's a test Smash where they're trying to like test out the servers and whatnot, or the online system, that's not going to work out very well.
No, I see your point, but I think for like even a demo like that, I don't think they would require a subscription. Because
if they were smart...
Well, I think it's almost smart to do it without the subscription.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
if they were smart, they're not going to require the subscription for that.
They want people to find out why they should be paying for online in the first place. And if they do announce a test Smash, it won't be till after either all the characters are revealed or they have put the proper preparations in place for that to not be data mined and leaked, and after they've detailed some of the stuff that online Smash will have available. Because I imagine a couple of the modes would probably be available in the test Smash, at least 2.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm anticipating. Dreamdrop says, when people started clapping for Waluigi, I thought they were clapping because we were headed inside. Nope, it was because of Waluigi. Waluigi should have belated everyone at demos or beat. Yeah, beat. You were in there with that correction. I was waiting for it. Yeah, Joe.
You can't data mine the game if you announce all the fighters first.
Right. And that's legitimately the reason Sakurai is doing this, because he doesn't want that to happen. He's been on record on his Famitsu column talking about how much he dislikes, leaks. And I can understand that. Imagine all this time he spent on putting together a big reveal to get all the fans excited, because he loves that. Mm-hmm. And for all of it to be ruined because one guy wanted his 10 minutes of internet fame.
Yeah, that definitely sucks for him and
all the people who work on it.
Well, yeah, but especially him, because how much he pours into it. That's gotta suck to have that moment taken from you.
Yeah.
It always does.
And it should only be his and his team's to give. So, however this information gets out, whether it be by data mine or by someone with insider information, we got to stop that stuff. I know it's never going to stop, but I'm glad that Sakurai is at least trying to get around it.
Yeah. He ruined his hands for this. How you going to leak it?
How you going to leak it? So, final thoughts on Smash before we wrap up for today?
Like I said, even like despite not being the way I would normally play, it still felt natural. I like it. I like it a whole lot, man. That's you should just keep that forever.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited to play more Smash.
I need it.
Absolutely adored my time with it. Had a lot of fun with all the people in there. Conman was mentioning something about a Switch meetup in Chicago sometime around then. And give us the details on that. Maybe we could make something happen, because that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Always more fun to do more videos with you guys and to get to play some Smash with you as well. This hat. Oh, there it goes.
That's the one. I like it.
So make sure to come back on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time for Nintendo Stuff Podcast. We'll have Logan back hopefully this time. I will also hopefully be there.
Hopefully.
If you've been watching the last few weeks, you know I've had some trouble.
I miss you guys.
Yeah. Paul's the only consistent guy here. I don't think there's ever just been a Brandon and Logan podcast.
I'll take the week off just for you guys.
So yeah, make sure to check it out on Friday. We'll talk more about Nintendo, more about Smash, because we'll have Logan here. He'll probably have some questions. Baconator says, see you next episode. Glad Chuck E. Cheese gave me something to do. Hey, we're glad that Chuck E. Cheese brought you here. That was my 17-year-old job, so it paid off, apparently.
Yeah.
Tell Chad I said hi.
Life experience.
Chad Tronic, you blessed us without even realizing it.
Chad is the blessing that keeps on blessing.
Right. So if you want to check out what we do every week, make sure to like this video and hit subscribe to find out when all that stuff happens. If you want to keep talking with us, follow us on Twitter. I'm at Babababs. Logan is at Loggy Doves. Paul's at Gunnysaurus. You can find us as a collective at Breakroom Arcade, or also you can join us in our Discord. There's a link to that in the description below. Conversation is always hot in there. We got pretty much everybody here in the chat is in that Discord server. We talk about Smash. We talk about video games. Lots of room to talk about anything, really. It's been really bumping in there. Having a good time talking to all you guys. That's how we planned our meetup in Chicago in the first place. So if you happen to live in the Chicago area, you know, you might run into us sometime. You never know. And if you really like what we do here a whole lot, you can click that Patreon link in the description. Donate as little as $1 a month. Really helps out. But if you can't, we still love that you're here. You guys are great. Brian Mendoza in the chat. Yo, we're actually wrapping up right now. But you can still watch the whole thing because the rewind feature is on.
Thank you, Joe. Joe's always on top of it.
Yeah, and I trusted him to do that. That's why I didn't even bother thinking about it. So with all that in mind, guys, we'll see you on Friday. Check out all the Smash videos coming out in the next week or two. So don't break your backs. Breaking the games, but for now, break time's over.